Hey guys, I just wanted to go over a couple more problems with you. So please bear with me and go through this with me all the way to the end, okay? So we didn't quite finish today, and I wanted to do these problems for those of you who were absent and also to finish up a couple problems we didn't get to. All right, so we're talking about interest. This is our formula we're going to use. The interest is equal to the principal times rate as a decimal times time, and time always has to be compared to years. So it says in this account, we invested $2,000. Okay, if an investment of $2,000 accumulates $360, so they give us our interest after 4 years, what is the rate? All right, so we know our principal. The principal is always the biggest number of the whole math problem. Okay, the principal is how much we put into the account or either how much money we borrow. They do tell us that this account gave us $360 in interest. So I'm gonna substitute 360 for letter I. Our principal is 2,000. We don't know the rate. That's our R. And we know the time is 4 years. So now on this row, I'm going to simplify 2,000 times 4 times R. Well, 2,000 times 4 times R is 8,000 R. And then I want to solve for R. So I'm going to get rid of times 8,000, which means divided by 8,000. And I know we did this class in class today. I just going over it. So our rate is, our calculator tells us 360 divided by 8,000 is 0.045, but rate must be a percent. Last thing we're going to do is multiply by 100, or in other words, move our decimal 2 places to the right. So the answer is 4.5%. That is the rate. Okay. All right, let's look at number 7. Sylvia bought a 6-month $1,900 certificate of deposit. At the end of the 6 months, she received a 209 simple interest. She received 209 simple. What was the rate of interest? All right, so we have our interest. Our interest is 209. We know how much the initial or the principal of the certificate was, $9,000 or $1,900. We don't know the rate. And this time we know our time is half a year. Remember, this must be in years. So we could just put 6 over 12 if we want to. The denominator is always going to be 12 if you're comparing months to a year, or we know that this is 0.5. 6 months is half a year, okay? Not both, but one or the other, whichever you prefer. All right, so I'm going to multiply 1,900 times 0.5 times R. So I know 1,900 times R times 1/2 is 950 R. And now to solve for rate, I'm going to divide both sides by 950. So 209 divided by 950 is 0.22. But it has to be a percent, so we move our decimal 2 places to the right. So the answer is 22%. That's our rate. All right, what about this one? An investment earns 4.5%. If the money is withdrawn before the year is up, the interest is prorated so that a proportional amount of the interest is paid out. If $2,400 is invested, what is the total amount that can be withdrawn when the amount is closed after 2 months? All right, so we want to know the total amount that can be pulled out of this account after 2 months, right? So let's find out how much this interest should be. If it was a year, the money is withdrawn before the end of the year. The interest is prorated so that a proportional amount of interest is paid out. All right, so let's take our interest equals P times rate times time. Our interest is not known, but we know our principal is 2,400. We know our rate is 0.045 and our time is going to be 1 year before we pull it out early, okay? So the amount of interest it should have drawn in 1 full year is $108. So for the year, our interest would have been $108 for a year. Okay, so that means we would have got $108 in 12 months. Since it's proportional, we want to know, this is money months. We want to know how much money we would have earned after 2 months. This problem is difficult. You're not going to have to answer one of these, okay? Don't worry about this one. I didn't even know this one was in here. 108 times 2 is 216 equals 12x. So we're going to divide both sides by 12. So if it's proportional, the most they can pull out is $18. $18. Okay, I don't like this question. I wish I'd skipped it. Anyway, don't worry about that one. Don't worry about that one. But the next one you do need to worry about, okay? All right. Carmen invested $1,200 in a simple interest account for 9 months. This is her investment. The total earned was 3.9% interest. Oh, that was the percentage, okay? At the end of 9 months, how much money did she have in her account total? All right, so interest is the principal times the rate times the time. So we don't know the interest, but we know the principal is $1,200 times our rate of 0.039. And then 9 months. So we're going to do 9 over 12. I do know I could simplify 9 over 12, divide them both by 3, and I get 3/4. I also know that is 7.75. So if you don't have a fraction button on your calculator, multiply by 0.75. If you do, you can multiply by 3/4. It doesn't matter. This is an or, not both. All right, so $1,200 times 0.039 times 0.75 is $35.10. So is that the answer to the question? No, it is not. Because we want to know how much is in her account in total. So since she put this much in, none of this money came out. What was added to that amount was $35.10. So at the end of the year, how much was in her account? Well, it's what she started with. She didn't take that out. And then the bank added $35.10 more. So the answer is $1,235.10. And you will definitely have a question like that on your assignment on Friday. All right, so this is the last page where you are basically finding all the different parts of this formula up here. One of them asks for the principal, one asks for the rate, two asks for the rate, and one asks for the principal. So we could just do this by plugging in, substituting into this formula. Interest is 120. We don't know the principal, but we know it's going to be multiplied by 0.06 times 5. So in my calculator, I'm multiplying 5 times 0.06 and I get 0.3. So 0.3 P. Well, I want P by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by 0.3. So 120 divided by 0.3 is $400. That's my principal. All right, you're going to do the same one, this one just like it, okay? So I'm going to let you work that one out, but I'll tell you the answer. 663 divided by, the answer is 4,900. I think I put that in right. Oh, I don't remember. 3 times 0.0425. 1275, 1275, 1275. So the answer is 5,200. So you work out the math on your own. All right, now these two are the same. So we know our interest, I, is 231. We know our capital P, which is 700. We don't know the R. We know the years is 3. So I know that 700 times 3 is 2,100 times R. And then when we divide both sides by 2100, our rate is 231 divided by 2100. My calculator says this, but my answer is 11%. All right. And then you figure out the last one, but I'll give you the answer so you can make sure you got it right. So the answer is 3%. So you figure out how I got that. All right, guys, I hope that helped. Everyone have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.